Hey everybody, it's Sugar Bar Philosopher. Welcome back out to the range. Today we've got a fun gun to review. We're going to be talking about the Taurus 692. It's a 7-shot revolver that's chambered in 357 Magnum and 38 Special, but it also has a cylinder for 9mm with some moon clips. Let's take a look at it and see how it performs. Okay, so this is the Taurus model 692. It again is a 7-shot 357 Magnum. Take a look at that. See, it's got 7 rounds in it. 7-shot 357 Magnum, and of course anything that's 357 Magnum can also shoot 38 Special. So we've got some 357 Magnum loads, we've got some 38 Special. This one also comes with a 7-shot 9mm cylinder. So we've got some 9mm rounds. Then over here, I want to take a look. This is the quote-unquote moon clip. I know it's not a moon clip. Taurus had to call it something else, but that's what it is. This is the one that came with the factory, and this is the one that I got from TK Customs. This is a bit flimsy, and I've had them sort of bend on me as I'm trying to get rounds out. And this is the one that's just a little bit more solid. TK Customs, and what you do is you line these up in, and it prevents these rounds from dropping through the cylinder and holds them out, and then allows you to easy load and easy remove. So yeah, let's get started. I've got 3 targets downrange, not very far, and I'm looking at about probably 7 or 8 yards, maybe 9 downrange, and we'll shoot 3 targets with this and just talk a little bit more about this gun. So let's get going. All right, well, I have 7 rounds of 38 Special up in here. I did forget that I did swap out the grip that came with this Taurus, and I put on some Packmeyer grips. Just gives it a little, I just like the grooves a little bit better how it feels. Allows me to control 357 Magnum just a little bit better, get a little higher on the grip. And so these are some grips that I like. Holster wise, it is pretty compatible with the Smith & Wesson 686 Plus. That's the 7-shot Smooth 357 Magnum from Smith & Wesson. Please bear with the gunfire. I am out at a live range. I have the gun pointed in a safe direction at the range. And we're just going to shoot these first 8 shots. One cool thing is it does have fully adjustable sights for windage and elevation. It's got a red front sight. Of course, it had or orange. It came with a sticker that fell off within the first 100 rounds. Used some nail polish with some hot pink, and that's what I've been using. And it is a double action, single action. So what we'll do is we will shoot probably 3 rounds in double action and 4 rounds in single action, and we'll see how we do. All right, that's our 7 rounds. Let's just take a quick look at what we did. Not a bad group. We got our 7 rounds here. This is a 6-inch size target. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'd like to say, hey, these are my single action, but they were, I think this is one of my single action. They were kind of all over. So at least for me today, this sun, this distance, that pistol, that's about where it was. Okay, so next up, I've got some of this Hornady Critical Defense. It's a 125 grain FTX projectile. And we're going to be shooting it out again. This is, I didn't go over it, but it's my 3-inch 357 Magnum Taurus 692. Another cool advantage of this gun, it is an all steel gun, so it's not super lightweight, but it does have 4 ports along each of the top of the barrel. I really like that. It helps tame this 357 Magnum to where it's actually quite pleasant to shoot. Again, with the Packmeyer grip, the 4 ports on top, it's pretty nice. You don't get that with a lot of out-of-the-box options. You got to pay for Magnum porting or other things. Some people say that the porting makes too much flash, especially if you're going to be shooting at night, and spit stuff back in your face. But I just really haven't had the problem with that in this gun, and so I'm a big fan actually of it. In fact, that's one reason why I've kept this. I know Taurus doesn't have the greatest reputation, but I think it's going to be hard for me to find a 357 Magnum out of the box that has this porting and can do 9mm as well. So, you know, what we're going to follow the same thing. The first 3 shots are going to be double action, followed by some single action. Okay, there's 3 shots. All right, let's go downrange, take a look. All right, so let's go downrange, take. Okay, so this is what we're looking at here. This is from when I was sighting it in, making sure that I was going to hit on paper. And so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I wish I could say some of these were single action, some of these were double action. They're all scattered all over, and that's about as good as I shoot with it. And you can definitely notice how things opened up quite a bit from when I was shooting the 38 special. So looks like Trigger Bar needs to work on his recoil control just a touch, and maybe just a little bit of flinching if that's how much it's opening up. So yeah, so again, that's 357 Magnum, though feels quite manageable in the hands, even though it is significantly more recoil than the 38 special. But with that ported barrel and the steel frame out of that 3-inch gun, it's really not bad recoil at all. All right, so next up, let's shoot some 9mm. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we are going to take out the piston, take out the piston. We're going to be taking out the cylinder here and swapping out this cylinder for the 9mm. There's a little button over here that you can push that will help you do that. When this is out, it just slides right out. You push the button in, it slides right out. And we'll slide in another cylinder. And then now this gun is ready for 9mm. Again, it does have its own moon clips. I'm using the TK custom clips. This thing just drops right in and allows us to shoot 9mm. Now, the only thing I've really had problems with this gun is on aluminum and steel case ammunition for 9mm. Maybe have ammunition problems on 38 Special and 357 Magnum, but I've never shot or found aluminum and steel case ammunition for 357 or 38 Special. But I have found it for 9mm, and I have problems getting it out of the moon clip. I've also had problems getting a little bit stuck in the cylinder. Not too bad that it was a big problem, but yeah, so we'll do the same thing. I think last time I actually shot 4 rounds in double action, so we'll try to stick to 3 rounds double action, 4 rounds in single shot, and we'll see what this thing does. And I already did stuff that I said I wasn't going to do. And I may have to get around to where that other one was. All right. So you'll notice that this thing did misfire. And what I have here is I have some of my nasty reloads that I've made mistakes on before, where I have small rifle AR primers in this, and so they are hard primers. That's something that I've known about. That's something, if you've seen some of my other videos about, I'm still working through some of my stockpiles. In general, the Revolver, other hammer fired guns that I have do better with it. If I were to put this in my striker fired guns, they wouldn't fire at all. But hey, that's one of the cool things about a Revolver, is you just keep shooting until they all go off, and versus striker fire, you gotta get that jam out. So let's go down range, see how we did. And sure enough, as the recoil reduces yet again, my shots get a little better. I do think that actually these 3 were well, maybe 2 of them, and maybe this one over here, were from my single action, and the other 4 were in double action. So yeah, so as the recoil reduces for me personally, my groups tighten up just a little bit better and the shooting improves. I did find it interesting that, and I didn't talk about it before, but between the 9mm and the 357, I didn't do any sight changes. And so actually I didn't do any. No, I may have lowered it 1, raised it up 2 from when I shot the 38 Special. That's why I shot 1 low, and so I wanted it up a little bit higher. So interesting that pretty little change in point of aim, point of impact, maybe just a little bit between 38 Special and 357 Magnum, but zeroed for 357 Magnum and on for 9mm. That was kind of interesting. Maybe it's that hand load, maybe it's, things like that. And so let's finish it off with this gun. So what is my philosophy of use? Well, the reason I bought this gun is I was going to be camping with a youth group and out in the Southwest, which is where I had been living at the time. And the previous time they had taken that youth group out there, they had killed over 20 rattlesnakes that were getting into the kids' sleeping bags and different things like that. So I really went down a rabbit hole and was thinking if I wanted a Taurus Judge. In the end, I had some friends convince me to just get a 357 Magnum and get some rat shot. So that's what I ended up doing. I don't have any of that rat shot with me today. I'll save that for another video. And when on the youth trip, I carried this with me. I also think 357 Magnum is a pretty good bear load defense. And again, having 7 shots instead of maybe 5 or 6 in other revolvers is pretty good round. So I actually carried 2 rat shot loads and then some 357 Magnum just in case I needed it. Didn't need it, of course, and things were all good. But so that was sort of my philosophy of use, is that this is not a bad black bear defense gun. This is a pretty good, just fun plinking gun. I think some people may want this especially if you got a maybe more narrower front sight post. You could do it for, and maybe not, maybe you don't need it narrower, but you certainly could do some action shooting with this. Again, because it is 9mm, it's going to be a little bit lower recoil and a little bit lower on the budget too for shooting and reloading and things like that if you want one caliber. Some people really want that 9mm revolver for some of those types of competitions, and for also just kind of sticking with one ammunition types. You don't have to stockpile up a whole bunch. And that's one thing that I like about this, is that push comes to shove and things are down the rain, I do stockpile and I do reload 9mm. And so that I always have this gun as an option for that. So let me know what you think about your revolvers. Let me know what you think about the Taurus. I know I have some friends and some people online, Chuck at Alaskan Ballistics. I think we'd have a conniption if he caught me recommending a Taurus. In this case, this gun hasn't failed me. I don't have thousands of rounds through it. I probably have several hundred, and it hasn't let me down. So let me know what you think. Please put it in the comments. Please share this video. Please like, and also please subscribe. Thank you. Well, look who came down looking at my range. That's kind of funny. We don't see that every day. Hey, little fox. He came out at the right time, just as I was done shooting.